Hi, Virgo. It's Anna here from Virgo. Two completely separate but equally significant shifts are converging in your life simultaneously: financial breakthrough and relational reversal, and the timing of both arriving together creates compound transformation that affects how you see yourself, how others see you, and what becomes possible for you going forward in ways that single breakthrough alone wouldn't create. Um, and the connection between these two events isn't coincidental. It's causal or at minimum correlational. Money changing your circumstances creates visibility that catches attention of person who previously dismissed you. Or confidence from finally being seen by person who ignored you creates energy that attracts financial opportunity. Or both stem from same shift, you finally valuing yourself properly, which manifests externally as both money and attention. Let me describe what each piece of this convergence looks like and why combination is so powerful. First piece: large sum of money, not modest increase, not gradual improvement, significant amount that changes your financial reality measurably. This could arrive through multiple channels depending on your situation: bonus or commission, or raise that's substantially larger than expected, settlement or refund or payout from insurance, legal case, inheritance, um, business deal closing, investment paying off, sale of asset, property, vehicle, business, collection for more than anticipated, debt forgiveness that functions like windfall because it frees up cash flow dramatically, or winning literal lottery or contest, though more likely metaphorical lottery of right opportunity at right time creating disproportionate reward. The amount is large relative to your current baseline. What constitutes large varies by person. For some, it's thousands. For others, tens of thousands. For some, hundreds of thousands or more. But regardless of absolute number, it's enough to create options that didn't exist before, enough to pay off debt that's been crushing you, enough to make purchase that improves quality of life, enough to invest in a way that generates future passive income. And timing is soon, not distant future, weeks to couple months at most. Close enough that you should be preparing for how you'll manage it rather than just fantasizing about having it, because people who don't prepare for windfalls often waste them through impulsive spending, poor investment choices, or letting others pressure them into sharing in ways that benefit everyone except the person who received the money. Let's pause here. This reflection invites you to consider: if large sum of money arrived next month, what would be your first impulse? Spend it, save it, invest it, or share it? Maybe impulse is relief spending, paying off debt, handling deferred expenses, fixing what's broken, catching up on bills, creating buffer in bank account so you can finally breathe. That's valid first use. But don't stop there. After addressing immediate needs, what's strategic use that creates lasting improvement? Or maybe impulse is celebration spending, vacation, shopping, experience you've been denying yourself, treating people who've supported you, also valid. But put limit on celebration spending. Don't blow entire windfall on temporary pleasure. Or maybe impulse is investment, real estate, stocks, business, education that increases earning capacity, something that turns one-time money into ongoing returns. That's highest leverage use long-term, but requires discipline to delay gratification. Or maybe impulse is sharing, helping family member, donating to cause, supporting friend's business. Generosity is beautiful, but make sure your needs are handled first. Make sure sharing isn't actually being pressured by people who only pay attention when you have money. This reflection invites you to consider who in your life would suddenly become very interested in you if they knew you received large sum of money. Second piece, attention from person who was ignoring you. This is person whose lack of attention has bothered you, whose dismissal or disinterest or outright avoidance created hurt or confusion or frustration. Could be romantic interest who wasn't interested, who friend zoned you or rejected you or treated you as invisible while pursuing others, who made you feel inadequate by their indifference. Could be friend or family member who's been distant, who doesn't return calls, who's unavailable for you while being available for others, who makes you feel unimportant through deprioritization. Could be professional contact, mentor, colleague, industry connection who hasn't taken you seriously, who hasn't responded to outreach, who treats you as beneath their notice. And now suddenly they're paying attention, reaching out, being responsive, showing interest they never showed before. Their energy toward you is shifting from indifferent to engaged, from dismissive to interested, from unavailable to suddenly very available. And the timing of that shift coinciding with your financial improvement is not accident. Let me be direct about what that correlation means and why you need to be careful even while part of you wants to be validated. This reflection invites you to consider whose sudden attention would feel like vindication after a period of being ignored or dismissed. The problem with attention that arrives after financial improvement is determining motivation. Are they interested in you, or are they interested in your new circumstances? Are they paying attention because they're genuinely recognizing your value they previously missed, or because money makes you more useful to them? Are they attracted to confidence that comes with financial security, or to financial security ITSF as resource they want access to? This distinction is critical because accepting attention based on money rather than genuine appreciation of you creates shallow connection that evaporates when financial situation changes, and people who only notice you when you're doing well will disappear when you're struggling. Um, they're, they're fair weather connections, opportunistic rather than genuine. How to assess whether their attention is genuine or opportunistic. Look at timing. If attention arrives precisely when your circumstances improve, they learn about your money, they notice your success, they see you leveling up, that's suspicious. Genuine shifts in attraction or appreciation develop gradually. Sudden shifts coinciding with external changes suggest those changes are the cause. Look at pattern. How did they treat you before? Were they kind but busy, or were they actually dismissive? Did they simply not have romantic interest? Or did they treat you as beneath them? If they were cruel or condescending or exploitative before, sudden kindness now is performance, not transformation. Look at what they want from interaction. Are they asking about you, your thoughts, your experiences, your feelings? Or are they asking about your money, how you got it, what you're doing with it, whether you need help managing it. Are they offering genuine value in exchange for your attention, or just expecting access because they're finally gracing you with theirs? Look at whether they acknowledge the previous dynamic. Do they apologize for ignoring you? Do they express regret about not recognizing your worth earlier? Do they take accountability for how they treated you? Or do they act like nothing was wrong, like they were always interested, like you're imagining the previous dismissal? Accountability is crucial. People who can't acknowledge they were wrong before can't be trusted to be right now. This reflection invites you to consider, if this person paying attention now, would you be able to trust their motivation, or would you always wonder if they're just interested in your money? What you should do when both money and attention arrive. With money, make decisions slowly. Don't commit to major purchases or investments immediately. Give yourself time to adjust to new reality before making permanent choices. Consult professionals, financial advisor, accountant, attorney, if amounts are significant. Get expert guidance rather than just trusting your own judgment or well-meaning advice from people who've never managed money at this level. Tell very few people about windfall. Money makes people weird. Friends become resentful or grabby. Family members feel entitled. Strangers become interested. The fewer people who know about your money, the fewer people who can pressure you, manipulate you, or treat you differently because of it. With attention, proceed with caution rather than immediate acceptance. Don't punish person for ignoring you before by rejecting them now, but don't immediately trust that their attention is genuine. Watch their behavior over time. Are they consistent? Do they maintain interest even when you're having a bad day or when you're not performing success for them? Do they respect boundaries? Do they contribute to connection or just extract? Communicate directly if you're willing to explore connection. I noticed you weren't interested before, but you are now. What changed? Their answer to that question is revealing. If they can articulate genuine shift that's about them growing or about seeing qualities in you they didn't notice before possible, that it's real, if they deflect, minimize the previous dynamic, or focus on your external changes, probably opportunistic, maintain boundaries around money. If romantic or friendship connection develops, do not let it become financially entangled quickly. Don't lend money. Don't invest in their ventures. Don't pay for everything. Don't let financial imbalance create power dynamic where they become dependent or where you feel taken advantage of. This reflection invites you to consider, what boundary would you need to maintain with this person to protect yourself from being used? Let me address the validation element, because part of what makes this convergence powerful is psychological. Being seen by a person who ignored you feels like proof of your worth, like external validation that you were worthy all along and they were wrong to dismiss you. And financially succeeding feels like proof that you're capable, that you're not failure, that good things can happen to you despite history suggesting otherwise. Both create ego boost, both create confidence, both create sense of I told you so toward people who doubted you. That validation feels good, but don't become dependent on it. Don't let external validation become more important than internal knowing of your worth. because people who can give validation can also withdraw it. Money that can arrive can also leave. If your sense of worth is based on external circumstances, it's fragile. Use this moment as confirmation of what you already knew. You're valuable, you're capable, you're worthy of good things. But don't let it become foundation of your self-worth, because foundations need to be internal to be stable. This reflection invites you to consider, how would you maintain sense of worth if money decreased or if person's attention withdrew again? What this convergence offers, if you navigate it wisely: resources to build life you want instead of just surviving. Money creates options. Use it to invest in growth, not just consumption. Confidence that comes from being seen and valued. Let it fuel your ambition without becoming dependent on others' perception. Clarity about who's in your life for right reasons versus who's opportunistic. This situation is test. Pay attention to who shows up how. Opportunity to demonstrate to yourself that you can handle success without it destroying you, that you can be generous without being taken advantage of, that you can accept attention without losing yourself in it. And foundation for next level of life, where you operate from abundance instead of scarcity, from confidence instead of insecurity, from choice instead of desperation. You remain in complete control of how you manage both money and attention when they arrive. You can be wise or reckless, boundaried or open to exploitation, strategic or impulsive. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice reading this has created a mix of excitement and wariness. Excitement about improvements coming. Wariness about whether they're too good to be true or will come with complications. Whatever you're feeling, honor it. Take what resonates, softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Before we close, I want to ask you something. If you suddenly received large sum of money, who's the first person you'd want to tell, and would telling them be wise or would it create problems? Drop your honest answer in the comments. And if person who ignored you suddenly paid attention after your circumstances improved, would you give them chance or would you see them as opportunistic? Large sum of money and a lot of attention from someone who was ignoring you. And when both arrive simultaneously, your job is managing money wisely instead of impulsively, assessing attention carefully instead of accepting it desperately, and using this convergence as foundation for sustainable improvement instead of just temporary validation that fades when circumstances inevitably fluctuate, not eventually, within weeks or couple months, already organizing itself. Trust yourself with this trust that you can handle success without it corrupting you. Trust that you can distinguish genuine interest from opportunistic performance. Trust that you deserve both money and attention, but that neither defines your worth. See you in the next one. And listen, windfall and sudden attention both create tests. Tests of your judgment, your boundaries, your values. Pass those tests by staying grounded in who you are instead of getting lost in what you suddenly have. Stay wise. Stay boundaried. Stay grounded. Money and attention are coming. Use both carefully. Take care.